Hi all, I'm Mr. Mendoza, a second grade teacher at West Charter Academy. What better way is there than to end this section on famous inventors than by reading a book about famous kid inventors? Because inventions can come from anyone. Remember Thomas Alva Edison? He was an inventor from the time that he could actually talk. He was always thinking about better ways and why things actually happened. So here's a book that I hope that you enjoy about kid inventors by Jane Selman. Kid power. What do popsicles, snowboards, and trampolines have in common? Kids invented them. An invention is a new product, process, or service. It may be unique or an improvement over something else, or one of a kind. Many successful inventors start young. When he was just 12 years old, Benjamin Franklin invented swim fins. Another 12-year-old, Margaret Knight, invented a safety device for factory workers. It kept them from getting their fingers injured in machines. What else have kids invented? To make swimming easier, young Ben Franklin invented fins for his hands and feet. We don't use fins in our hands anymore, do we? No. Modern earmuffs are quite similar to original ones from more than 100 years ago. Those don't change very much. Their purpose is to keep your ears warm. Maine winters are cold. Growing up on a farm in Maine, Chester Greenwood worked outside in the winter. The bitter cold made his ears turn red and hurt. In 1873, at 15, he made a wire headpiece to cover his ears. He asked his grandmother to sew bear fur on it. He wore it, and his ears no longer got cold. At first, his friends laughed, but soon they wanted ear protectors too. This was Chester Greenwood. I guess earmuffs aren't made out of bear fur anymore. They're made out of cotton most of the time. In 1877, Chester received a patent for earmuffs, which proved he invented them. No one could use his idea without permission. Many of Chester's neighbors worked with him to make earmuffs in their homes to sell to stores. Pretty cool. And he was what? He was only 15. Pretty cool. Way cool. Popsicles are still popular. More than 2 billion are sold each year. We actually read about the inventor also. What's better on a hot day than a refreshing lick of a popsicle? An 11-year-old Californian invented this treat. In 1905, Frank Epperson ran to the soda stand in a small amusement park. He sold drinks made from soda water mixed with flavor packets. Frank wondered how a frozen drink would taste. One cold night, he left a glass of flavored soda outside with a wooden stirring stick in it. The soda froze. Frank took his creation to school, and his classmates said it tasted good. When Frank grew up, he made and sold Epsicles. His kids suggested he change the name Popsicles. The rest is history. Imagine where we would be without popsicles, those yummy treats, on a hot summer day. Getting a jump on the competition. Getting a jump, trampolines, snowboarding. Yep, you get jumps that way. George Neeson, a natural acrobat, loved tumbling in gymnastics. At the circus, he watched acrobats somersaulting off the safety net. George thought gymnastics on that net would be thrilling. When George was a teenager, he built a bouncing rig. In 1934, with the help of his college coach, Larry Griswold, he constructed the first trampoline. He made it out of scrap metal, canvas, and inner tubes. George and Larry made a portable version, and George demonstrated it everywhere. Trampolines were soon in many gyms, schools, and backyards. He was only a young man, George Neeson. He was only a young man, he was in college. In 2000, trampoline gymnastics became an Olympic event. George never stopped being an acrobat. In his 80th birthday, he performed a handstand on the dining room table. Wow! He must have always been strong. Hey, what? There's a kangaroo on that. What in the world is a kangaroo doing jumping on a trampoline? George Neeson introduces a kangaroo to his invention. I bet that kangaroo had a ton of fun. A skateboard for the snow. Tom Sims took up skateboarding in the 1960s. He loved it, but he was sad that he couldn't board in winter because of ice and snow. To solve his problem, he made a wooden ski board in junior high shop class at age 12. Wow! At 12, he made this snowboard. He kept improving the design. He opened a company to build skateboards and snowboards. Tom designed many boards, including some made especially to fit the feet of girls and women. His name was Tom Sims. And then again, he was about 12. That's right there, 12. Tom won many skateboarding and snowboarding competitions. He performed snowboard stunts in a James Bond movie. He made snowboarding cool. In 1998, snowboarders began competing at the Winter Olympic Games. Designing girl. 11-year-old Cassidy Goldstein had a school project due and nothing to use but broken crayons. She needed something that would hold small crayon pieces so she could draw with them. It had to be the right size to hold the pieces tight. Cassidy remembered that roses from the flower shop come with a small tube of water to keep them fresh. She used one of the tubes to make a prototype or model of her invention. She received a patent for her crayon holder in 2002 and was named Youth Inventor of the Year. And again, she was 11. Imagine that. Cassidy's father started a company to help her kids develop and market their inventions. Great inventors, hard workers, not lazy. Again, I must say, they are not lazy people. So if you sit around and do nothing, you get nothing out of life. New ways to say hello. When he was 17 years old, Colorado native Ryan Patterson sat in a restaurant trying to decide on a science project. Some deaf customers came in and ordered food. The restaurant workers didn't know sign language, so the customers had to use an interpreter. Ryan wondered what they would have done without the interpreter. The science project provided the answer. This is Ryan's glove. Translates the finger movements of American Sign Language into written language. That is pretty cool. Unbelievable how this can happen. I didn't even know this existed. Well, now I know. Ryan developed the sign language translator. It's a glove that reads the finger alphabet of American Sign Language. It sends letters to a small screen so that deaf and hearing people can communicate with each other. Ryan won several awards, including a $103,000 scholarship to college. And how old was he? He was young too. He was 17 years old. And because of that, they gave him a free ride to school. Free ride! Smells like a new catcher's mitt. Art Main's sister was selling candles for a school fundraiser. Art took one whiff and complained that they were too flowery. He asked why his sister was making any candles with smells that guys would like. His family suggested that he invent some, and he did. Man cans are candles with guy-friendly scents, like brand new baseball mitt and fresh cut grass. I don't like those scents. Those are nasty. I have bad allergies. Why would I want that? Hart uses recycled soup cans to hold the candles, but he can only eat so much soup. To get more cans, he donates canned soup to local soup kitchens and picks up the empty cans. Now, Man Cans is selling lots of candles and feeding hungry people. A little light on the subject. Blair Breziel couldn't wait to start sixth grade and get her own school locker. When she looked inside the dull, dark locker, though she felt let down, she tried shopping for decorations, but she couldn't find what she wanted. She decided to make something herself. With parents' encouragement, she came up with the locker lights, magnetic colored LED lights. A student can attach them anywhere in the locker. Locker lights come on when the locker door opens and turn off when it closes. I guess they're on sensors. She was young, and this is not too long ago, because this is pretty cool. Sixth grade. Talking with others can be a good way to improve an invention. Some people don't even want to talk to each other. Some people just never want to work with people. It's harder for you. Becoming an inventor. Becoming an inventor may seem impossible, but it's not. Many inventors get their start when they saw a problem and try to solve it. Once they have an idea about how to solve a problem, budding inventors often talk to their parents, friends, or teachers about it. Advice I often give kids I meet is to not be afraid to ask someone for help, says Hart Main. He didn't know how to make candles, so he talked to someone who did. As a next step, inventors often build a model for their invention. They might show it at a school science fair. A trip to a larger gathering, such as a maker fair, might follow. Maker fairs are like big show and tells for all ages, where inventors share their ideas and creations. Fred and Benedict, 14, won the title of America's top young scientist in 2011. He invented a low-cost sensor that warns when a football player may have a serious but hard to detect head injury. That's an important one. Students in grades 5 to 8 can go to yearly competitions such as America's Top Young Scientist. The grand prize is $25,000. Peyton Robertson, 11, won this title for an improved sandbag. Sandbags can protect places from flooding, but carrying heavy sandbags and putting enough into place can be hard and take a lot of time. Peyton's invention is lighter than a regular sandbag. It gets bigger when it absorbs water and protects better against flooding. Ooh, good invention. Building robots is another way that young inventors develop their skills. The National Robotics Challenge is one open to students from elementary school on up. Kids in grades 4 to 8 may enter the U.S. first Lego League Championships. During these competitions, teams of students build robots that can complete a series of tasks on their own. The team that creates the most successful robot wins. Robotics competitions help kids learn teamwork, collaboration, creativity, and problem solving. Inventing is an awesome activity. With their inventions, kids solve everyday problems and make people's lives better and easier. Maybe you will be the next great inventor. 5th and 6th grade students watch as a robot runs through a course during the Iowa First Lego League Championship in 2010. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Please look for more.